Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the 2018 NAB Riedel Press Conference. And this time I brought something very special. And it's protected in that case. And I have the key. So let me free David here. Here we go. And as you can read on the case, it's a property of Riedel US, so there's a US connection. That gets me to the point that Riedel US, we started with our US office in operation 16 years ago. And it was an incredible journey here in the US, a really great story of success bringing the Riedel products into that market. But before we open that box and we talk about what's new here, there's some other news I want to tell and we want to tell to you. And therefore, I want to start with something else. So let's keep that for a moment and let me introduce you to Jake Dodson, our Director of Product Management, who will give you the news on Bolero. So please.
Thanks, Thomas. So, welcome everybody. I can certainly say it's been an incredible year. I stood here last year in black sequins actually, so hopefully the red is an improvement on that. And I launched Bolero into the market, Riedel's next generation wireless intercom. And you know, Bolero has been a huge success for us. The advanced tech receiver has worked in very, very harsh RF environments all over the globe. And now we've got several thousand belt packs running in operations daily across the globe. So we're very, very pleased with Bolero. So the question is, what comes next? What comes next for Bolero? And I'm delighted to announce today the next step in the evolution of Bolero. And that step is Bolero standalone. And this is it. And when you look at this, you'll realize that this looks like a Bolero antenna. And of course, it is a Bolero antenna. But it's also a base station. And it's also an intercom matrix, all on the Bolero antenna. So, I take this antenna, I plug power in, and I've instantly created a 10 belt pack wireless intercom system. I take a second antenna, I plug in a Cat5 cable up to 1,000 feet between the two antennas, and I've created a 20 belt pack wireless system. And the whole thing is plug and play. So, and we can continue this process up to 100 antennas and up to 100 belt packs in a wireless ecosystem. And if that's not enough, well, now if I take my daisy chain of antennas and I take a connection from my antenna at one end and I plug it into my antenna at the front end and I add in a few extra power supplies, I've actually created the world's first redundant power and redundant data wireless antenna network. This is an absolute world first for Bolero. So, Bolero standalone, you can see over in our news area, so please come and have a look and we'll show you through the product. And with that, I'd like to hand over to Lars Herman, who will bring you in on the latest news for the MediaNet product family. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. I'm Lars Herman, I'm the product manager for MediaNet at Riedel Communications. MediaNet is deployed in many projects as a decentralized router solution. Today I'm happy to announce the next step for MediaNet, MediaNet Goes IP. With the release of the Micron IP application, MediaNet is able to seamlessly bridge between baseband, MediaNet, and IP signals in one ecosystem. Micron IP fully supports latest IP standards like SEPT 2110 and AS67 for audio and video transport over IP networks, and we also fully support NMOS ISO4 and ISO5 for device discovery, registration, and connection management. Micron IP also treats IP signals like MediaNet signals, so it fully applies advanced MediaNet processing features to IP signals. It shows a nice integration of IP into MediaNet. Finally, I would like to welcome you and have a look on Micron IP at this year's NAB booth. And I would now like to hand over to my colleague Johan, who has some interesting news about Intercom, and he may be able to tell us more about the content of this box.
Thanks, Lars. Hi, everybody. I'm Johan Ludston. I'm the product manager responsible for user interfaces and user experience design at Riedel. And it's not really true to say it's just about Intercom what I'm talking about here, because Riedel, the ideology is really about workflows. And Intercom is a combined part of lots of complex workflows that exist nowadays. And as things start to get more complex, we need to find better ways to provide simpler interfaces to take control of those complex systems without overdoing it for operators and facility staff. So I think to help explain is probably best if we actually take a look at our new device, which is in the box. Rick, give the keys. That's right. No, seriously, check. Sorry. Thomas, do you think you might be able to give me a hand with this, please? I don't really, I'm sorry. Fantastic. It could very easily be said that you always have the right to look for a job at these functions. Here we go. Right. Wait a moment. There we go. Thank you. All right, let's get this out here. So, I would like to introduce you to the RSP1232HL, our new smartest smart panel. So the word smartest encapsulates a number of different things that I want to describe to you. It's the smartest, first off, because it grows on our app-driven platform that allows you to increase usability in a single panel and treat it as an agnostic user interface for use in Intercom and more. It's the smartest smart panel because of its IP connectivity, employing SMPTE 2110 comprehensive implementations in our own latest IP cores for incredibly different connection possibilities. And it's the smartest smart panel from its ground-up user interface design, thinking about everything from signaling, labeling, and even all kinds of different operational workflows, taking into account the fact that we have hardware such as stereo speakers, Bluetooth, onboard NFC, and probably last but not least, 32 hybrid levers with integrated rotary encoder for use in operation. I encourage you to find out as much as you can about this. We have a number of these panels around the booth in various configurations, and I want you all to have a really good play with them, ask loads of questions about them, and find out how easy it is to take control of even the most complex Riedel workflows. Thank you.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank you all the press people for coming, and thanks to all the competitors as well for joining. And well, now we have prepared some sandwiches for the press people, and of course the competitors are welcome to have some as well. And yeah, well, that was our press conference. If you like, we can take some photos here, and yeah, absolutely, we will. But again, thank you very much.